what helps me a lot is, how did this start? Why is this start? There's a bunch of monkeys on a planet, and we're killing each other, taking each other's food. We're like, fuck, we got to stop this. Yeah. Let's put someone in charge to make some rules to do it. And now we're 1776. That's when the United States, 300 years ago. Yeah, it's not even. Ago. Yeah. These people are like, this is how we're going to do it. Mm-hmm. And we think this is the best way. Mm-hmm. Those other fucks think monarchies. Those fucks think communist. These think socialist. We don't know what's the right answer. We're going to try the Democratic Republic. And we do this. And it doesn't work perfectly. We're just putting the steps in. Because at the end of the day, it's just people running these things. It's just people running something that started 300 years ago.
You know what I think is funny, too? It's so, ape-like of us to have nations.
Oh, yeah.
It's like the territorial, aspect of it. Yeah,
land.
This is, and I think nationalism is the dumbest thing in the planet. I think you could be proud of your country. I cheer for Italy in soccer events and World Cup event, whatever. I cheer for Italy. I cheer for the United States. I'm proud of my country, I could say. I'm proud of where I came from and stuff like that. But I don't think I'm better than anyone else because I'm American. I think I just grew up in America.
No, you don't think you're better because we are better.
Yeah.
Okay.
We just grew up in a place. If I grew up in fucking Philippines, I might be.
That sucks.
I might be poor. If I grew up in communist China or Soviet Russia, I would be like those people. That's what I think about. We are just all the same, just grew up in different circumstances.
No, that is.
And that's what pisses me off about today. Because today, everyone wants to try and find ways that we're different and make us divisive in the ways that we're different rather than the ways that we're the same.
Yeah, we are very similar. And this reminds me of, it's called the veil of ignorance. Have you ever heard of that thing?
No.
So it's pretty much, it's like a thinking test. So there's a veil, and then it's you. And you're up there somewhere before you come down to earth. And it's like, you don't know where you're going. You don't know if it's going to be China. You don't know if it's going to be here. Yeah. You don't know if you're going to be rich, you're going to be poor, if you're going to be white, you're going to be black, you're going to be yellow, you're going to be green. You don't fucking know. And would you come down without knowing, with the precautions that are in now? It's like, is this fair? You're happy to go wherever you go. Mm-hmm. And it's like, no. I wouldn't say yes to coming down into this world without I'm explaining it poorly.
No, I get what you're saying, though. I get
the way our world's run with this veil of ignorance, if you don't know where you're going, you're going to say, no, I would never do that. Mm-hmm. But because it's so stupid, I'm like, I'm with you. I think the whole world needs to be united. Yeah. But that's a crazy thing to say.
No, I get why there's country lines and stuff like that. I just don't think there should be that much of divisiveness within especially within America. There's no reason why political parties need to serve as a way to separate us. At the end of the day, that's what it comes down to, is things get politicized, and then they become so divisive, and then they be even the fucking vaccine.
Oh my gosh.
People make the vaccine. People make the vaccine a political thing.
Yeah, if we talk shit about the vaccine, we're going to get off.
But here's the thing. Kamala Harris and Joe Biden both said that they wouldn't take Trump's vaccine. Yeah. They're the first ones who politicized it, and now it's a Republican thing.
Yeah. You're not taking this vaccine? Dude,
That's it's just
politics
so much
sucks.
It's just so much hypocrisy. That's why I'm it's just so much hypocrisy as opposed to just being we're all Americans. Let's work towards a greater good. Obviously this is wishful thinking. Obviously there people are going to have problems, whatever. That's human nature.
Dude, as long as you can have love and respect for the other person, you could still disagree.
Yeah, that's where we got to start. Just love and respect for everyone. Who
treat
cares?
Your fucking neighbors
Ryan Playo told me at GW, if you're Republican, you wouldn't have friends. People wouldn't
That's
like you.
so messed up.
I'm just the thought of that is what the fuck? Dude, a political party does not define you as a person. You are your that's what frustrates the hell out of me a lot. Yeah. That's why I can't even watch the news anymore.
Dude, that's what the news does too. Yeah. They try to start controversy so they get more eyes and they get more money.
More clicks. It's just fucking about clicks.
I was thinking about this. I'm like, I don't think the news should be able to make money.
That would be I've heard that argument before, and I used to think it was a stupid argument, but I see that would make a lot of sense.
Because
it would be so much less biased.
You're not going in for the money anymore.
Yeah.
Like
it
solves everything.
It wouldn't be all like the way that the news people make money is by clicks and stuff like that, and you get clicks based on shit that pisses people off.
Yeah,
that's what gets you.
If it bleeds, it leads.
Exactly.
That's literally the first thing I learned in journalism school.
So if money wasn't involved there,
yeah,
they wouldn't be doing that.
Then we would just be getting the news.
Really, that's the first thing you learn. If it bleeds, it leads.
Yeah, I was a broadcast journalism. First thing we learned in my media class was if it bleeds, it leads. It wasn't telling us if we should be doing this, but it was like, this is what gets people to look.
Yeah, it's just human nature.
Yeah, it's true.
Crazy.
You look at a car crash. Why do you think there's so much fucking traffic? Everyone's turning their sides.
You ever watch the what is it, Nightcrawler with Jake Gyllenhaal?
Yeah,
that's a crazy movie. That opened my eyes to like that whole side of it. Like people want to see this shit. People want to see like car crashes and people hurt and stuff like that. Like why? Why do we want to
freaks?
I don't. Yeah, it's weird. It's just weird, and like how that stuff would sell the best. Like he would get certain shots of like the most bloody shots would get him the most money. I'm like, oh my god.
Panem at Circum, bread and circus. It's what the Romans usually did when I forgot what emperor it was. Some shitty emperor when Rome was going to shit was like, you know what? Make a fucking Colosseum. We'll show them fights and we'll give them food.
Yeah.
Like that's literally what they did, and it's because. This is interesting.
Do you think that helped their society? Probably
No, it didn't. So it was literally a distraction. It was like everything else is so shit. Let's give them this. But it's also because there was so much pleasure. Like everyone's pretty chilling back then. Yeah. Like except if you were like a slave, or like low off. But they had not spas, like big pools where they'd go in, chill all day. Yeah, they'd fuck like crazy orgies. Yeah. There was so much pleasure.
Dudes, girls fucking girls.
Gosh.
Dudes. Yeah, it was
so
crazy.
many dudes fucking dudes.
That was a big thing
wild.
back in, even in Greek.
Dude, the philosophers were kids.
Yeah.
You'd look at like Socrates in Plato's writing. Mm-hmm. They're talking. They have like Socrates's conversations or whatever, and he would be like talking to like a younger boy. He's like, "Ooh, you look very fine today." Like some weird shit, like comparing like his fucking asshole to
these dudes were around
apple.
Today. We would drag them through the city's fucking square we would kill them. Dude, we would kill them as a society.
Fucking little kids.
Like even the painter, even the great like Renaissance painters and sculpting people like Michelangelo and all that, they were all gay.
Yeah.
But
were they? I think they were doing it for pleasure. That was the difference. That's why in the Bible, when it talks about like gay people, it's talking about it from like a pleasure standpoint. Like people fuck just for pleasure, not. They don't give a shit if you like guys. And they're just doing it because they want a fucking dick in their ass.
These people were gay.
Yeah. No.
I'm just saying, it's funny how we went from that to then like gay marriage was illegal. Yeah. That's what's funny to me. It's like I don't know what why that was. I don't know.
No, that's it. Kind of goes where I'm saying because it's not the guys didn't love guys. That's not what it was. They were doing it for the pleasure of anal.
Yeah,
that's why they were doing it. Mm-hmm. And once you have all this pleasure, like the only thing like there's a cool Twilight Zone about it. This guy dies and he goes to this place and this person comes. He's like, "Hey, you died. Welcome to the afterlife."
Yeah.
And he's like, you can wish for whatever you want. You could have it. He's like, oh, sweet. So he lives in this place where you can have everything and everything, all the pleasures in the world. And by the end, he's miserable. He's like, why am I miserable? I thought this was heaven. And the guy's like, dude, this is hell. Like, whoever said this was heaven? Because having all the pleasures in the world are just that. They're just fucking pleasures.
Yeah.
And that's what happened in Rome. There's so many pleasures. The only thing that would satisfy them anymore was pain.
Yeah.
So that's why they would watch these fucking gruesome killings because that's the only thing that could get them off anymore.
Dude, they used to kill so many people in the college. Have you ever been there?
Yeah.
I went there for the Euro trip and we had a guide and she would tell us how many people would like die on like any one. It was like, holy shit, dude.
I was too young to.
They used to kill they used to have like crazy animals that would go in. Did you know that? They used to have they used to get animals imported. I'm pretty sure they decreased the population of tigers and elephants or giraffes greatly just because of like the population during that time was at like an all-time low because they were shipping so many in to just be killed in the Coliseum.
That's wild. They would fill it with water too and have boat fights.
That's so sick.
That's so cool. That's so sick. Cool.
Like to think about that happened like that didn't happen like
when was that?
That was the Romans were.
I'll look it up. I have no clue. I'll get an exact. When
did the Roman Empire fall?
Uh,
Not that long
8th
ago.
century BC. So this was before Jesus too. So
that is-
500 BC
So like
to
2000.
27 BC was the Roman Empire.
Yeah. So like 2,500 years ago.
That's not that long.
That's really like not
That's really
in the
not that
scheme
long
of all things. Like that's not
That's
that
not
long
long
ago.
ago.
Yeah, it's not.
That's weird.
That's